In 2017, 85% of children worldwide got vaccinations, whether that was for your MMR, chickenpox, tetanus, the flu, or your hepatitis shots. But 19.9 million children still weren't immunized. Over 60% of these kids were from poor countries, ones that couldn't afford to vaccinate their children. And yes, this increases the risks of getting sick, but it doesn't make those who have been vaccinated safe either. The amount of vaccinated kids that get sick are equal to the amount of kids that aren't vaccinated. This means that in 2017, roughly 19.9 million kids still were sick and infected, even with their vaccinations. Lots of kids, vaccinated or not, still receive the illness that they get shots for at a very young age. Children shouldn't be vaccinated due to the fact that vaccinations can still make you sick. Vaccines are unnatural and do not make your immune system any stronger. And you should get vaccinated for diseases that aren't harmful or even around anymore. Simple reasons like these are why I'm here today to explain why children shouldn't be vaccinated. First, we'll talk about how vaccinations can still make you sick and cause serious side effects. Many think that getting sick for a day or two is just part of being immunized. But what they don't know is how many other sicknesses you can acquire from these vaccinations. When getting vaccinated, you get a shot, usually in your arm. But what's in the vaccinations that the nurse injects into your arm? Usually it contains the virus you're getting vaccinated for, as well as other chemicals and ingredients that we don't even know about. These things that the nurses put into your body can cause fatal side effects. According to the CDC, all vaccinations carry a risk of life-threatening allergic reactions. Every 1 in 20,000 babies in the U.S. have gotten intussusception, which is a bowel blockage that usually requires hospitalization after receiving the rotavirus vaccination. Long-term seizures, coma, lowered consciousness, and brain damage have all been associated with MMR and DTaP vaccinations. The CDC also states that pneumonia can be caused by the chickenpox vaccine, and a small possibility exists that the flu vaccination can be associated with the Guillain-Barré syndrome. This is a disorder in which the immune system attacks the peripheral nervous system. This disorder is fatal and has no cure as of right now. Other sources also say that vaccinations can cause learning disorders, asthma, diabetes, chronic inflammation, or other disabilities. Another reason children should not be vaccinated is the fact that things in vaccinations are unnatural and they don't make your immune system any stronger. Vaccinations are meant to protect you from diseases that you could get, as well as make your immune system stronger, but not all of this is entirely true. Yes, you aren't as likely to receive the virus, but it doesn't make your immune system as strong as you think. The Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania states that it is true that natural infection almost always causes better immunity than vaccines, whereas immunity from disease often follows a single natural infection. Immunity from vaccines occurs only after several doses. Even organizations that are for vaccinations say the same. The Mayo Clinic says that natural infection provides more of a complete immunity than a series of vaccinations ever will. The vaccinations that you get are mainly for diseases that aren't common or don't even really exist anymore. Or we're also vaccinated for viruses that don't harm you. Yes, these viruses suck to have, but in most cases, you survive. There aren't many reasons to vaccinate children for illnesses that existed before their time and have now gone extinct. Vaccines.procon.org says that no cases or deaths have been reported from diphtheria between 2003 to 2011 in the United States. Fewer than 51 cases and 10 deaths per year from tetanus were reported between 1994 and 2011. And polio has been declared eradicated in the United States since 1979. There have been fewer than 21 deaths yearly from rubella since 1971 and fewer than 25 deaths yearly from the mumps since 1968. But we all still get vaccinated for these, and why? Yes, you can still receive all of these viruses, but it's not that common. Other viruses you are vaccinated for, like the chickenpox, for example, won't necessarily harm you. It's just a rash with blisters and can easily be treated with antibiotics. Of course, it isn't fun, but most people still survive, and many illnesses you get vaccinated for can be treated with some type of medication, rest, and plenty of fluids. As you can see, vaccinations don't do much. Of course, it's good to get vaccinated just in case you were to get any of these viruses, but even if you don't, you aren't at a higher risk of getting sick. Today, we talked about how vaccinations can still make you sick, even though they are meant to prevent you from getting sick. Vaccinations are unnatural and don't make your immune system any as strong as it would be naturally if you naturally acquired the virus, as well as how vaccinations are targeted towards viruses that are extinct and don't really harm you. So in the future, when you have children, think about, is it really worth the money? Do you want to spend your money on a vaccination that doesn't decrease the risk of getting sick?